Devin, what did you learn from the Linares fight? You know, when you go back and reflect on that experience.
Being in the ring with Linares, I was running around so easy. It was much easier than I thought it would be. So I kind of fell asleep in there. I got a little lax, and that's what happens when you get lax in the fight game. You know, Linares hit me with a good shot and woke me up, and now I learned that you can be running up rounds easy, but it's still a fight. You got to fight to round 1 to round 12.
Obviously, you never want to get caught with those shots, but the best in the world have been caught with those shots. Floyd Canelo. Do you feel that just showed that you can take a punch and that you can prevail and face adversity?
Yeah, of course. I definitely feel like it showed that I could take a punch. They say now these days I got a glass jaw or something like that. But at the end of the day, he hit me right on the chin, and I might have been hurt, but he didn't put me down, and he didn't come in the next round and knock me out. So it shows how good my chin actually is. I took one of the best punchers in the lightweight division that has knocked guys out with one shots. He's showed that he can finish. He showed that he can do it all. He showed that he had power, and I took his shot on the chin, and I came out the next round, and he hit me even more in the next round, and it didn't do anything. So it just showed that I can take a shot. But it is what it is. They can say what they want to say. It is what it is.
After that fight, you tweeted that people never satisfied. You were going for the wrisk. You wanted the stoppage in that fight.
Yeah.
Even though you were dominated. How do you tune out the critics and just stay on the path?
At the end of the day, hey, can somebody close that door? It's getting cold in here. They're gonna say whatever. At the end of the day, if I would have went in there and I boxed 12 rounds clean, beat Linares, never got hurt, then they're gonna say, well, he never went for the stoppage. He doesn't take chances. Then I go in there and I'm boxing him for 9 straight rounds, and I see him breaking down. I see him slowing down. I try to put my foot on the gas. Got a little bit lazy in the process, and then they say, oh, he has a glass jaw or whatever. But some people did appreciate me going for it, and they saw me breaking Linares down. So some people they value it, some people they don't. But they're always gonna say something.
Yeah. Do you feel like the Linares fight made you a meaner fighter?
I wouldn't say a meaner fighter. I feel like you got that mean streak or whatever the case may be, or you don't, and I just feel like it's in me. But some fights bring it out of you. Some fights, you may not have to show that side.
Do you feel like you showed your chin with that punch? Because typically when a fighter is truly hurt, they go down. You didn't go down. You walked to your corner and resumed in the next rounds.
Yeah, some fighters they go down. Some fighters they get hit with a good shot and they take a knee because they know that they're hurt and they don't want to risk actually being hit with another clean shot. But I went back to the corner, came back out, and it is what it is. Whether they say that I was wrong for tying up or not, at the end of the day, we finished the fight, we got the job done, and we on to the next.
It seems like despite what happened there, that it just seems like you're still going to be pressed in this fight to not just win rounds but light him up. Is that right?
It's crazy that it's like I said, that's another case of it's never going to be enough. If I go in there and I just beat JoJo Diaz just clean 12 rounds, won every round, then they're going to say, oh yeah, it was good, but it wasn't good enough. Then if I go in there and knock him out early, then we got to see. Well, we don't know what they might say. They may say he was too small. They may say he wasn't worthy enough to be in the ring or whatever the case. Yeah, right. Exactly. So they always gonna say something, but I just got to keep beating whoever they put in front of me. And what I want to do in this fight is beat JoJo Diaz worse than he's ever been beat. He's been beat one time by Gary Russell, and I want to beat him more cleaner, more better than anybody has.
Yeah, how much of that is you though? Like, it's the fans, they want you to press, but how much of it is just you? You like letting your hands fly and putting combinations together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, I always want to beat my opponent the best way possible. But some ways is outboxing them and not letting them land anything clean, which I could have done with Linares, but I didn't. I wanted to get the stoppage. I knew that he had been stopped in all his previous losses. But it is what it is. They're always gonna say something, which and I came to my senses that it is what it is. Go in there, do what I do, and If they say something, they do. If they don't, they don't.
What did
just last week,
JoJo say to you in the face-off? You kept saying, "Don't get mad, don't get mad."
My team was talking to him, and he was like, he started talking to them. He told him something like, that he'll fuck him up or something like that. Church was in his head. She told me he'll fuck him up, and so I told him that you're not gonna do shit to him. And then he was like, started getting mad. Like I seen his like eyes like quenching and shit like that. And so I just told him, don't get mad. Like, you know, it's me and you in there. Don't worry about them. Don't let them get in your head. But it obviously.
Are you a fighter who talks like when you in the like under the lights? Do you talk a little trash to your opponent?
See, so like before this, I never really had an opponent that really talked that much. Like, but I knew that JoJo Diaz, he was talking to me a lot on Twitter. He was talking like real heavy on Twitter. So I thought he was going to keep that same energy when we saw each other. But when we got in front of and face to face, it wasn't that same. I'm not saying that he was scared or nothing like that. Because honestly, I don't believe that fighters like are scared. Like once a fight is already made, I don't think that a fighter is scared of another fighter or nothing like that. Because at the end of the day, we both gonna step in that ring and we both gonna do what we do. This is what we do. So yeah, but it just wasn't the same. So it kind of threw me off guard when you really wasn't talking that much.
Do you think maybe fighters aren't necessarily scared of a fighter, but scared of the moment, right? Because sometimes they step into those bright lights, biggest moment of their career. Do you think that could be possible?
I think on the come up. But when you're already at the top, like you know, you pretty much been there, done that. I feel like a fighter like JoJo Diaz, he went to the Olympics. He's been at the top. Maybe not at the peak, but he's been at the top. He's been in big fights. He's been on big stages. So I just don't feel like you know, like he really like is scared or nothing like that.
I gotta ask, you just turned 23 last week. You know, once again, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Gotta ask though, do you notice any different, or could you see yourself, you know, just from 22 to 23, like the progression and the growth that you've made at such a young age, being one of the biggest names in the sport?
Yeah, you said from 22 to 23?
Yeah, I mean just in general, but just in this last year.
Yeah, obviously I'm just maturing like every single day. Like, you know, just my mindset is different. Even in the ring, I feel like my grown man strength coming in. Like I really like genuinely do feel that. And I used to like work super hard, like, you know, doing like strength and conditioning and stuff like that, and you know, wondering why like my power wasn't like as strong as, and I knew that I worked harder than a lot of these guys, but they were older and more mature than me. So and that's what I'm seeing in this camp, that like, you know, I'm still working hard, like doing strength and conditioning to be ready to be strong for 12 rounds, but like my power is just naturally there this camp. It doesn't take much. Like my sparring partners, I've been hurting every single one of them. Like I think I counted it up, like it was like 6 or 7 guys this camp that actually hurt through the camp. So it's not even taking like much.
You know, he's a southpaw, Diaz is, and everyone, you know, knows your jab is a great weapon. They say sometimes it's harder to get that jab off when fighting a southpaw. How do you think that all plays out?
I mean,
shakes
out.
Know,
we got a good game plan for JoJo Diaz, and you guys got to just see how I apply it. You know, you guys got to see my style against the southpaw. I only fought one southpaw, I want to say, in my pro career so far. So this is gonna be our first time seeing me fight a southpaw.
Devin, this is MGM Grand Garden. I mean, this is the mecca of boxing. You live in Las Vegas. What does it mean to be headlining a card there at 23 at this stage of your career?
This is a dream come true for me. This is something that I've always dreamed of. Me living here in Vegas, always dreamed of fighting at the MGM Grand, and I swear I never thought that, you know, this shit would come this fast, but like it's here, and now it's finally time for me to like really perform and, you know, show that I belong here and I'm here to stay.
How's it feel? You know, this is the first card that you've headlined with, you know, full attendance in over 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, with full attendance in over 2 years. You know, what's that mean to you to be able to close out the year strong and put on a performance? You know, one of the biggest fights of the year. You know, closing out 2021.
It feels great to have full attendance because on the first day, I think we sold 3,000 tickets
on the pre-sale.
Yeah, on the pre-sale. So, man, it's gonna be packed in the MGM Grand, and I can't wait. I'm excited for it.
Devin,
but this
as far
camp,
as the mental, what do you do to prepare your mind when you go in that ring?
At the end of the day, like, this is something that I do. It don't really take like too much, like, you know, overthinking it or whatever the case may be. Like, we prepared 8 weeks for this, and I know what I'm up against. At the end of the day, I mean, you never know until you actually get there, until you actually get to the MGM Grand, and you can say that you experienced it. But this is, I'm ready for it.